The global population continues to face many challenging situations daily. Climate change, financial losses, fear, anxiety, sickness, death. It may sometimes seem like this season of gloom will never end, and many are losing hope. The future may be daunting, but in the midst of your hopelessness, I can assure you that God, who is the creator of this world, still has the world in the palm of his hands, and for this reason, you can still have hope.
We want to welcome you again to the Wednesday night Bible classes for the Stonecrest Church of Christ. We are so appreciative each Wednesday evening as we are granted the privilege by you to be able to come into your homes, your places of work, your places of abode, and as you are traveling, looking and listening and studying with us on our broadcast. Thank you so very, very much. Before we begin our message tonight, I want to share with you several upcoming announcements. One of which is our annual Ladies Symposium this Saturday morning at our location here in McDonough. There are two outstanding and tremendous speakers. Tanya Porter from the church, Lost Church there in Charlotte, North Carolina, will be one of our keynote speakers, along with our own Dr. LaWanna Twaits, who will be presenting as well. Both of these just excellent and outstanding presenters and speakers, and you're going to be blessed as they are dealing with the theme of the daughters of grace. And so we invite all ladies in our viewing area to come this Saturday morning, beginning at 9 a.m. For those of you who study with us in VR broadcast from across the country, we'll even make it available to you live stream this Saturday morning as well. And you'll be able to watch it on the very site you're watching this and participating in this Bible study here on tonight. So whether you're on our Facebook page or our YouTube page, we'll live stream those activities. So from around the country, you will be equally blessed as our ladies here in our immediate viewing area. Additionally, our 8th annual homecoming and anniversary is fast approaching. This year, we have invited an outstanding speaker, Evan Daniels from the Hope Church of Christ there in Florida, will be leading us in that weekend of preaching and teaching. And then an outstanding song leader, Danny Lane from the Central Church of Christ in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has been invited to lead our singing throughout the weekend. In addition to that, there will be 3 days of wonderful activities, games and food and fellowship, and both congregational and group and choral singing. A number of groups from throughout the Southeast have been invited. This promises to be a magnificent occasion. Listen, it's going to cost you a dime starting Friday night with fun and family games and activities at the building. And then on Saturday, again, picnics and singing. And then Sunday, in addition to the homecoming program, we'll have our culminating worship services and then a meal after that. So listen, it's going to be a bigot, and you do not want to miss it. If you need additional information, we ask that you reach out to Shona Nixon, who leads our church wonderfully in this effort, along with her committee on a yearly basis. You'll see a flyer before this program is over, giving you additional information. Our men are going to be in retreat this weekend. Our men leave on the early Friday morning, going to a retreat place. And if you'd like more information about that retreat, I believe there may be 1 or 2 spots yet open, even if you're not a member of our congregation. I'll ask that you reach out to Craig Twaits. That flyer too will be on the screen before this Bible study has ended. And then finally, on the 21st of September, one of our former elders, Anthony Brooks, and his wife are going to be installed as the first evangelist for the newly established Grayson Church of Christ. Those activities will be Sunday, September 21st. You'll see the flyer advertising that as well. I, along with Stonecrest Church, will be going over immediately following IAM services to lead and to be a part of the installation of one of our former elders and his wife, Anthony and Kelly Brooks. We hope that we'll see you there. We encourage you to be there. Now, let's return to our series as graphically portrayed on the screen. Plagues that preach is our overall theme for this series of messages. We've been looking at the 10 plagues or the 10 judgments that God sent by way of Moses to Pharaoh on the Egyptian empire with one simple message. And that message was, let my people go. Pharaoh is like some of us. He's hard-headed and he's hard-hearted. So God has to get his attention. And the way God is going to choose to get his attention is to send plagues or judgment upon, watch this, their religious system, because each plague that God will send will be a judgment on one of the many gods and goddesses of the Egyptian empire. So God is going to destroy their concept of religion in order to show them that he's God. And you got it, and he's God all by himself. He has no rivals. Not only will God destroy ultimately that concept of religion by way of their gods, because each plague will be a judgment on one of those gods. We've already shown you that. I'll review it for you again tonight. But the other thing, in addition to God destroying their religion, God is going to destroy their economy. He's going to make the Nile River their source of commerce turn into blood, and everything in the sea is going to die. Well, people made their livelihoods by fishing in the Nile. When people would bring goods to Egypt, the Nile was the river. It was that waterway that was used in order for commerce to flow in and out of Egypt. Now, you remember me saying that the Nile River flows through, get this, 11 countries. It is over 400 miles of waterway. It's a massive thing. And their economy depended upon them. And then I want to show you something else that maybe you hadn't thought about. If everything in the river is dying, and God has sent frogs, they are dying. God has sent, as we saw last week, he takes the dust and creates gnats from the dust. And the gnats are stinging people. Egypt is a dirty, stinking place. And the gnats are everywhere. The frogs are hopping everywhere. The fish are dying everywhere. It's stinking. It's nauseating. It's a nuisance. That's what has happened over the first 3 plagues. And remember, there are 7 more to go. So in the first plague, we talked about, as you see on the screen, the God who rules the river. In the second plague, we talked about when your false gods come hopping home. And you'll remember we said they had a god that controlled the Nile River. They had the god in the form of a frog. But all these are false gods. And then last week, they had a God that controlled, they believe, the dust and the earth. And so last week we talked about when the dust starts moving, when God takes his finger and simply touches the dust. And wherever, when God touched the dust, watch their gnats, their flies everywhere. Now watch this. You didn't have to go down to the Nile River. You could evade it. The stinking hopping frogs eventually would die. But then when God touched the dust, that's everywhere. There was no place to escape. Now, tonight, get ready. Tonight, I want you to watch this. I want to talk about, come up close. I mean, pull your chair up, lean in, because on the fourth play, watch this one. I'm talking about the God who draws the line. You better, come on, lean in. I can hardly wait. In fact, I'm going to have to apologize for last week because I got so carried away. I talked for almost an hour. Well, tonight I'm going to be, I'm not going to teach that long. In fact, I'm having to, I will break this plague up into two parts. So I won't have to keep you so long. Now, I want you to watch this. The God who draws the line. At Exodus 8, follow me in the reading. At verse number 20, God says to Moses, rise up early in the morning and present yourself to Pharaoh as he goes out to the water, and say to him, thus says the Lord. Watch this. Let my people go, that they may serve or worship me. Y'all, I can hardly wait. Let my people go, so that they may serve or worship me. And then he says, or else, if you will not let my people go, I will send swarms of flies on you and your servants and your people. And the houses of the Egyptians shall be filled with swarms of flies. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. If I lived in Egypt at this time, I would have started me a small business of fly swatters. Would have made a mint. I mean, don't try to act like you don't know what a fly swatter is. Now, I know we got all these chemicals that we can spray in the house now, but Grandmama said you need two things. You need one fly swatter. You need two fly swatters. And now, of course, not everybody gonna get that joke. All right, that's all right. That's all right. I would have gone into the fly swatter business. See now. Uh, uh, when I was growing up, if you couldn't find a fly swatter, you get some newspaper. Like, come on, don't act like you don't remember that. Fly come inside the house. You open the door, fly come inside the house. You get some newspaper. All right. God says, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be filled with swarms of flies, and also the ground on which they stand. Watch this. Simple. Such eyes. Now watch this. God had already touched the dust, not the ground, the dust. And gnats are everywhere. Now I want you to watch this. In addition to the gnats, now you got flies. And watch this. These are disease carrying flies. Brother Ford would say, what? Yeah, these are disease carrying flies. Well, why would you say that, Dr. Barclay? Because watch this. You got dead fish. You got dead animals who's not getting water. You got all these dead flies. I'm sorry, all of these dead frogs. I mean, the flies are obese. They're eating to their heart's desire. But you need to also see this. They're carrying disease because they're eating animals and insects and livestock that are dead. Are y'all listening to me tonight? So watch this. These swarms of flies that God is sending. And watch this. He says, all of those ain't airborne on the ground. Watch it. Now you're stepping on. Let me keep reading. Oh, his preaching point. Oh, my goodness. But on that day, I will separate or set apart the land of Goshen, where my people dwell, so that no swarms of flies shall be there, that ye may know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. Did you hear what I and you just read? God says, I'm only going to send the flies on the Egyptians. My people are living in Goshen. There will be no fly in Goshen. Okay, let me try this again. Come in, lean in. He says, I'm going to set apart the land of Goshen. I'm going to show it to you on the map in just a second, in a slide or two. I'm going to set apart the land of Goshen, where my people dwell, so that no swarms of flies shall be there. Y'all didn't, I don't think y'all get this. All right. I want you to watch this. Verse 23, he says, thus I will put a division between my people and the Egyptians. Okay. Unless you're a sermon slow. Let me slow the roll for you. People think this one through. Because watch this. There's a whole sky up there. And God says, I'll put a swarm of flies, and they only are going to fly where the Egyptians live. No fly is going to cross to where my people live. Did you all hear what I just said? Did you hear what God just said he's going to do? Now, and you going to keep a fly from flying in the land of Goshen. They'll only fly where the Egyptians live. And I'm just reading the text. I ain't even explained it yet. He says, tomorrow this sign shall happen. And the Lord did so. There came, this is Exodus 8:24. There came great swarms of flies into the house of Pharaoh and throughout all the land of Egypt. And watch this. And the land was ruined by the swarms of flies. Ooh-wee. Do you see what God did? He ruined the land. And watch this. He said, I'm going to only let the flies fly where the Egyptians lived. Where my people live in Goshen, ain't going to be no fly. No fly. God established. The military men will like this one. God established a no-fly zone. Goshen was a no-fly zone. See, the military men understand that. They understand no-fly zone. They understand the militarized zone. They understand that. But do you understand that? God told a fly, don't fly in the no-fly zone. A fly. Oh, watch this. Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, go sacrifice to your God. Watch this. Within the land. God said, I want you to let my people go so they can go serve and worship me. Pharaoh said, your people can go, but they have to sacrifice in Egypt. There's some serious theology here that you may not be aware of. Egypt is symbolic of something. Egypt is symbolic of sin. Egypt is symbolic of the world. That's why you got to leave Egypt and you got to cross the Red Sea. See, that's right. You got to leave Egypt. You got to leave sin, and then you got to cross the waters. Oh, I don't have time for that one tonight, but I want you to watch this. I want you to watch this. Yeah. He says, go and sacrifice in the land. But Moses said it would not be right to do so, for the offerings we shall sacrifice to the Lord our God are an abomination to the Egyptians. Ooh, oh, that's going to get good next week. If we sacrifice offerings abominable to the Egyptians before their eyes, will they not stone us? Now watch this. Pharaoh knew that. See, it's Pharaoh's way of saying, I need to get y'all to compromise. God said, yeah, he wanted y'all to go. He said, y'all can go. You can go and worship God, but you can't leave the land. You got to stay in Egypt and worship God. You got to stay in a place symbolical of sin and slavery and the world. And God said, no, that ain't gonna work. And watch this. Had they sacrificed in Egypt, had they made the offerings in Egypt, all you're going to do is humiliate, insult, and rile up the Egyptians to the point where they're going to try to kill you. Because, watch this, the animal sacrifices that the Israelites were going to make to God, the Egyptians treated them as gods. When you start talking about offering a lamb, offering a bird, or offering a goat, or offering a bullock, or offering a bull, the Egyptians worshiped these animals. And so the Egyptians were going to see, you are putting their gods on the altar in sacrifice to your God. And all that's going to do, I can't say that word. I can't say that word. All you going to do is just make them angry to the point where they're going to kill you. Moses said, no, we must go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God as he tells us. Verse 28. So Pharaoh said, I will let you go to sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Oh, this thing gonna get good. But you must not go very far away. Wee! Do you see what he said? Okay. So his first level of compromise is, okay, they can make sacrifices in the land. When that didn't pan out for him, he said, okay, you say you need to go 3 days? He said, no, that's too far. He said, you can go, but you can't go very far. See, that's how Satan traps us today. He doesn't want us going too far. Okay, listen. If you just got to go to church, you ain't got to drive 45 minutes, no hour and a half to get over there to that Stonecrest Church Christ. Yeah, listen, I got a little old church down the street. Now I ain't Church Christ. But it's a church. And it's just right down the street. It'll save you some gas. It'll save you some time. No. They ain't preaching no Bible. No. They ain't preaching no gospel. They do things a little different over there. But we all serve the same God. Does any of this sound familiar? Ah! You can't go to church this Sunday. It's the first home game for the Atlanta Falcons. You can't go to church next Sunday. They playing at home too. And then we got the next. Uh, um, um, um. And I see some of y'all done already got your feelings hurt because Satan used all of these things to keep us from full commitment and dedication to God. He has even used the coronavirus experience. Watch this. You worship at home during the coronavirus. You didn't have to spend all your gas driving on 75 and way out there. You know what's interesting to me? The same arguments we make on Sunday about coming to worship, we drive farther to work than we do to worship. But we don't make those arguments on Monday that we make on Sunday. See, what you don't understand is Pharaoh's way of trying to keep you in Egypt. Now, I know I didn't make any friends, but people, what it speaks more than anything else to is your level of commitment to God, your level of dedication to God. It says you are more committed to work than you are to worship. I better finish reading the text before you cut me off. But it's not me you're cutting off, it's God. The one who woke you up this morning, giving you a job to go to and strength and energy to go to that job. It's that God. Then Moses says, behold, I'm going out from you, and I will plead with the Lord that the swarm of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. Look what he says, Pharaoh. Pharaoh, this is the fourth time I've been to you. Each time you have either denied God's request or you changed your mind. As soon as the danger, the storm has passed, you change your mind. He says, I plead for you. But only let not Pharaoh cheat again by not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. Ooh, this is going to make you shout. So Moses went out from Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord. And the Lord did as Moses asked and removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. Ooh, this ought to knock you over with a feather. Not one fly remained. Not one fly remained. God took every fly away. And watch it. But Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also. and did not let the people go. That's all that reading. Let me, I've done this each week. So let me give you the point of the plague. Let me show you what the plague was all about. And remember, this is 2 weeks on this plague. Here's the point of the plague. God reveals that he alone sets the dividing line between his people and those who oppose him, showing his power to protect and his authority to judge. Rabbi, what did you just say? I just said that the point of the plague, I just summarized it for you. Here's the point of the plague. God sets the dividing line between his people and those who oppose him. See, God is trying to let them know. Okay. Pharaoh, here is the line, and it will not be crossed. Pharaoh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to send bugs. I'm going to send disease-carrying flies. I'm going to fill up your hospitals. I'm going to create all kind of disease. But it's only going to be on your side of the border. Where my people live, not one fly is going to cross the line. How do you petition the sky like that? Oh, go with me. You divide up the sky like that. Only God. Only God. He says, I'm going to set apart the land of Goshen. Look at the graphic that says God draws the line of distinction. On that day, he says, I will set apart the land of Goshen, where my people dwell, so that no swarms of flies shall be there. Why are you doing this, God? That you may know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. I want you to see, look at your screen now. Blow it up real big for me, Lee Dog. I want you to see what the land of Egypt looked like, and that major body of water called the Nile that was a dividing line between where the Egyptians lived and the land of Goshen. Now look at it on the screen. Now, folks, how do you keep a fly out of Goshen? I mean, the Nile River. Please take note of this. In this plague, this is the first plague where God made a division and a separation. Ooh. Watch this. Goshen was affected by the Nile River turning into blood. Watch this. Frogs hop over in Goshen like they did with the Egyptians. There was dust in Goshen. So there were gnats in Goshen. God allowed his people to be affected by the first three plagues. But in the fourth plague, God says, now my people, you have been afflicted for 430 years. You've been in slavery for 430 years. You've been treated with disgust and disrespect and in disrepute for 430 years. And God says, you've had enough. I'm not going to allow you to be afflicted any longer by what Pharaoh has done. And then God says, and listen, you have been affected by what I've done, but no more. Oh my God, an awesome God. You know what? I want you to look at that graphic I just put on the screen. It is as if God put a giant pan of off in the sky. Teach the Bible, Barclay. I mean, God drew a line in the sky, folks. And he didn't let one fly cross the line. Whenever I'm playing golf with my friends, Brossie, Ricky Miller, love those guys. Great friends, great supporters. Whenever we're out playing golf, and the flies start flying around us. These flies, these gnats, and we're trying to set up for a shot. And these mosquitoes are biting us and all this kind of stuff. I would go in my golf bag and get my can of off and spray me. It does not stop the flies and the gnats and the mosquitoes from flying around me, but not one of them touch me. And sometimes I look at Brother C and I look at Ricky, and they get ready to make a shot, and they doing this, and just messing up their concentration. And because I'm trying to beat them, I ain't gonna give them no off. You should have brought your own off. We playing for score. So Barclay, that's hard-hearted. Nah, that's golf. I want you to watch this. I want you to think it through. God drew a line in the sky. And he told every fly, you can fly up to the line, but don't you cross it. I said, brother, really? That's exactly what happened. Look at the screen again of Goshen and Egypt. Look at the screen. Not one fly cross the no-fly zone. Oh my goodness! I need a couple of hours tonight. I don't have it, and I'm gonna quit right there. I'm gonna quit right there. But I want you to see that God, final graphic on the screen. When God draws the line, watch this. God separates, which is why Paul in the book of Corinthians is going to tell the believers, come ye out from among them. In other words, You can't be hanging out with and in the world. God has called us from the world into the body of Jesus Christ. You're different. You're peculiar people. And God can't protect you if you decide to go into Egypt where the flies are. So when God draws the line, God separates, and watch this, God protects. And then God demands full obedience. When God draws the line, God separates and God protects. One last time, look at the graphic on the screen. You see them fly fight in Egypt, but in Goshen, not one fly crossed the line. I bid you good night when I say this to you. Where do you stand when God draws the line? You see, in the graphic, you have a guy who's straddling the line. We have too many saints straddling the line. You need to decide. We need to decide. Let me encourage you to decide to come on the side of obedience, to come on God's side. Why? Ain't no flies on God's side. God protects you against the flies on his side of the line. Where you gonna stand? Let me encourage you to stand with God. We'll finish this thought up next week. But until then, may the Lord of the harvest bless you, and may he bless you real good.